In emptiness we are born, in emptiness we abide. In silence we can hear, in stillness we find peace. A creature of conditions, in the prison of my past, entrenched in my habits, in the shadows I've cast. I dwell in the darkness, I howl at the sky, embalmed in my tears, I struggle and I cry. Is death my salvation? Is the void what remains? Is a veil to be lifted? Is there life beyond pains? Lo, it is us alone, holding the reins of our strife, breaking our ancient constructs. There's relief, a path back to life. There was a time I was blind to what is, actuality veiled by a myriad of hallucinations, mesmerized by the gaslights of cognitive distortion, dancing and wrestling in a tunnel with holograms of my own design, shadows of the collective mind, a cacophonic orchestra crafting the shapes of my thought and vision, enmeshed in projections of a realm I beheld through a keyhole covered in cobwebs and filth. But now I hold a new vision, shedding the disfigured matrix of finite reality that thrived in the constructs I beheld and embraced, an actuality independent of my bias, a reality where all things are just as they are, unslanted by the projections of my desire and attachment, phenomena liberated from the constraints of my subjective view, a realm where the innate nature and knowledge of all things is shining and anointing my eyes with wisdom. There was a time I dared not open up and speak my mind, for what would they say and how would they react? Or freely hope and dream as I might, for cursed are those who stray from the norm. Curiosity curated, inspiration strangled, the map was censored and the world was shrunk, leaving a captive explorer in the cage of constraints crafted by those who have no life of their own. But now I reach a realm of freedom and endless possibility, where the constraints once imposed hold no sway, where I am free to explore, free to dream, free to express my views as they are, free to evolve and embody my potentials. The headlock has been released, the strangling norms imposed by the board of censors have retired. Emancipation of aspiration, I soar into a boundless realm of discovery. There was a time I could not feel, for I should not feel, lest I be exposed, vulnerable and weak, and I was drowning in the shadows of sadness and pain. The dis-ease of a heart bound in ropes and blindfolded from its natural beat, a prism masked with layers of tar and crow feathers, the remainder of allowed feelings, a hollow echo of myself. But now I feel the shell of my desiccated heart cracking, a lifting of the heavy blanket that dampened and suppressed natural emotion. A rainbow of feelings is hatching and swirling in my chest. There's the garden of flowers and herbs, tastes bitter and sweet, salty and sour and pungent, scents alluring and repugnant, each a reflection of my encounters and inner states, countless flavors and colors enriching this life. There was a time where I struggled and pushed my ability to achieve goals I thought were mine, demands and expectations forced upon me, a relentless driving force of mania burning me day and night, a warrior on a macabre road of self-destruction, conquests in the hollow name of the lame and naked emperor, a fierce march to perish with my boots on, fatigue and injury as my spoils. But now I act as a mercenary no more. I am the agent of my own transformation. With tempered urges and free of dictates, I strive with a freedom of choice in my deeds, free of compulsion and in due season, through action and inaction, content past trial, error and success, into mature and wholesome accomplishment that leave the world, as within as out there, a better place to be. There was a time I could not rule myself, establish what I am or what was true to me, for an iron fist from the outside asserted my place and declared my shape, the threat of retaliation and torment, shackling me and holding me tight, conformity or exile the only options, disempowerment and capitulation, submission to an alien will. But now I am reclaiming my throne, my scepter is planted in the unshaken ground of my truest stance, a seat of authority unto myself, where decrees are set and justice is served in equal measure for myself and every being. I am beyond threat and intimidation, I conform to the measure I hold as good and true, I am my only sovereign. There was a time I feared for my safety, threats to my delicate balance looming imminent in the unknown, sinking into a murky hole in the underground, suspended and bent out of shape, taunted by the ghosts of what may never be, that wouldn't truly harm me, even if they were to be. With roots in the topsoil, the whisper of a storm was unsettling. But now I repose on a foundation of peace, as firm as the ground of my being. Deep-rooted and steady through the trials of life, the future can but affirm my strength. The fear that I face will not slay me, for it was I that conjured all these fears, and the constructs of yore I resign and demolish, then what other would disrupt my peace? There was a time I was broken to the core, a worthless miscreant with no real meaning or purpose in sight, missing pieces more numerous than the scattered bits I had cobbled together, fragments of potential lacking any real sense, context or true promise, fulfillment a faint, distant cry beyond the narrow creature I was crafting in a desperate attempt to be whole. But now I behold a sphere of wholeness, the coming together of all that I ever was and did, saturated with newfound meaning. Countless rivers, flowing clear and full of essence, pouring their gifts into a singular ocean of being, the formation of a harmonic subject, the integration and fulfillment of every potential cultivated, the culmination of human existence. What is this fantasy? Into emptiness we return, and in emptiness it abides, as conditions resolve, lives fulfilled, and all is fine.